We now have Aric Almirola here and Kelley Earnhardt. Aric will be in the 88 car next year next year, the 2011 season for the Nationwide Series. So we're going to open it up for questions now. If you guys want to if you got anything, just raise your hand. We could also just let you guys make an opening statement.
Well, first of all, I'm just tickled to death to go into next year and have an opportunity like that to go and win races and run for a championship with an organization that's already proved that they can do both things. So I'm really excited about that. Looking forward to next year. Hopefully next year will go a lot like this year's went for me, and I can go and win some races and give an honest run at the championship. I feel like Pops and Tony Jr. and Kelley and everybody over there that they work every day. They show up to work to win races, and I feel like they're very capable of doing that. And all I got to do is go over there and do my job.
Joe Minzer, NASCAR.com. Hey guys, Kelley, I remember talking to you at the Hall of Fame not really that long ago, where you said Aric was in the mix. Could you talk about how quickly this all came together, both of you, and how all that transpired so fast?
Well, for us, Aric was one of our key candidates, so it really, the ball was in his court. With the year that he's had this year in the Truck Series and the promise that he's showing there and the success that he's having, we were a little bit more at his weight than ours because he had some other offers and some other teams talking to him. But I'm glad that he chose Junior Motorsports. I think that we can go out there and contend for the championship and win some races and build a foundation for Aric that he can continue to build off of for his career. He's young and he's got a long ways to go, so this is a great place for him to start.
Jim Motorsports.
Yeah. Oh, you want me to? Yeah. Yeah, it was really easy for me. I had several other opportunities, but this was the opportunity that I looked at that I felt like that at being 26 years old, I could wait a few more years before going to Cup and still be okay, and I felt like this was a place where I needed to be able to prove that I can win races and run for a championship at the next level. I've been fortunate enough to be able to do that this year, and I didn't want to go too fast too quick and end up like I was a couple years ago. So I felt like for me, this was the place where I wanted to be. They got a bunch of great partners, great sponsors that I'm looking forward to teaming up with, and I felt like for me I could go and win races, and that's what I want to go do. I don't want to go ride around in 20th or 30th and just make a paycheck. I want to go win. I want to go compete on a weekly basis, and that's the same thing that they want at Junior Motorsports. So I felt like both of our goals matched up, and for me it was more about success on the racetrack than it was just getting a paycheck.
Jim Motor Trail Observer. Aric, you've already done a lot in the sport. I mean, you did some Cup stuff and you've raced nationwide and so forth. When you look at this opportunity, is this more, do you think, kind of a starting over, or do you look at more as a progression of what you've already done?
No, I look at it as starting over. I mean, I feel like I've completely started over from scratch. I had the opportunity to go and drive the 8 car. It's just weird how this sport works and how everything goes full circle, but Dale Jr. left and took another opportunity, and I was fortunate enough to go and team up with Mark Martin and drive the 8 car. And then when Mark left, I was going to drive the 8 car full time, and then due to lack of funding, they shut it down. And I was right at ground zero again, and didn't have a job, and was looking for an opportunity to go race. And that's when Billy Ballou came along and gave me an opportunity to go start in Truck Series all over again. And I went and started racing in Truck Series and was competitive and ran good. And the nice thing about it is that I'm still young, and everybody always says, I wish I knew now what I knew then. And I always said that too. Like after I had went up and run nationwide and run Cup races, it was like, man, if I knew all this when I first started and was driving the Spears truck in 2005, I would have done a whole lot better. And so by doing that and by going back to the Truck Series and for me, like I said, basically starting over, I felt like I was a much better race car driver because I had learned so much more by going up the ranks. But it humbled me really quickly to go back all the way down. Well, to first not have a job, and then to have a job and be back in the Truck Series. I felt like it was my time to prove that I could do it. and fortunately enough, we've had a great team this year, and we've run really well. And when that happens, I was grateful that my phone was ringing.
In that sense, do you look back and wouldn't trade the experience that you had?
Oh, I don't regret anything that I've done. I don't regret anything in my life that I've done. I don't career-wise or personally or anything. I just always look ahead. It doesn't do you any good to look backwards. I'm very thankful that I started young, because if I was doing this at 36, I don't think I'd have the same opportunities that I do at 26. So I'm very thankful for that. But yeah, I don't regret any of that. I feel like it's made me a lot better race car driver and a lot better person, because I've been through a lot of stuff.
Claire B. Lang, Sirius NASCAR Radio. And Aric, you filled in for a lot of people. They trust you in their race cars. Is it true you were also on standby today, even for David Ruderman, who has a stomach ache?
I am actually. When I leave the media center here, I'm going to go practice his car and I think qualify it, because I guess he got food poisoning and has been in the hospital all night. So that's why we had to bump it up to 11:40. But yeah, I want to be in a race car, and if somebody calls and says they have an opportunity for me, I want to race. That's what I like to do, and I'll be there.